I'm sure you've heard by now the sad news that Splash Damage has come to the decision to halt development of DirtyBomb. It must be said that the game isn't going anywhere, the servers remain up, so you can throw your pancakes and wield your weepsticks to your heart's content. But as of now, that we should expect no further content to be added. In many ways, I think the writing has been on the wall for a while. The big 1.0 patch was fairly light on content, even in relation to other updates. We didn't see any sort of big marketing push to drive players into the game. It was hard to see 1.0 as anything else than being the end of the road, rather than being a confident stride into the future. In many ways, the game never saw the heights that we all kind of knew it could reach. It was never going to be the next Counter-Strike or Call of Duty. You can't help thinking that an odd, offbeat game like DirtyBomb might be able to carve a niche out and find support from a community who could find that experience from no other title. I've made the comparison to Warframe before. A slow process of community building might show a light to a place that DB could also call its own. I think the lulls in development for the game probably put paid to ever managing to really ride a wave of excitement about it being a new title. It was around for too long with not much content added or progression noticed, so people drifted away. And even when development picked up again, returning players would find bugs that they'd probably noticed months or even years previous to still be in the game. It's not exactly a recipe for rekindling and kickstarting community building. Looking back, I can remember when you needed a key to get access to the closed beta. People were clamouring for them. If I recall rightly, they were on an Alienware site. I remember Pansy streaming and your chat was a buzz of people wanting to get their hands on DirtyBomb. In hindsight, I think there can be an argument made for saying that the Containment War update, all the way back in October of 2015, should really have been called DB 1.0. It was a step change in the updates we'd had in the past, and might have helped push the game forward with more press coverage at the time, when it could have done with more growth. We had lore and a proper event with microsites and unique skins and so on. The beta tag hung around all too long and eventually became something of an albatross around the game's neck. I very much enjoyed getting to know some of the developers and getting some chances to peek behind the curtain. There's something oddly satisfying about helping to find or identify a bug and see that it never actually makes the live version of the game. It gave me an appreciation for how hard developers work on things that players never actually see. Ideas that don't fit aren't wasted time if they're stepping stones to the right direction. That work all needs to still be done. Something of a cliche, but the metaphor of a swan gliding through the water with you unaware of the work being done below seems kind of apt. And getting to know some of the designers, artists, programmers, and so on at Splash Damage, the one thing you'd never say is that they didn't care. I know I've said this before, but the cheap insult of the lazy dev has never rung true for me of anyone I've known, of any developer I've talked to. I'm not saying I always agreed with them, I would never say that, but I'd never accuse them of not doing what they thought was right for the game, and it's kind of hard to ask any more of someone than that. I saw this cartoon on Twitter from the ever-talented Spanish Inquisition, and I don't mind saying that the look on Proxy's face did ever so slightly break the heart of this game-loving British fella who for some reason is still uncomfortable with the word YouTuber. Through my DB videos, I hope I was fair and even-handed in praise and criticism. I do try not to be sensationalist or someone being overly negative and ranty for views. I'm sure you guys would know immediately that style isn't very me. As DirtyBomb is, as far as I know, Splash Damage's biggest owned IP, I do hope these characters that we love find another home at some point. Not holding my breath for DirtyBomb 2, The EV Strikes Back, but after so much life has been breathed into the DB world, and for people to become so attached to these wonderfully realised characters, I still hold out some small wisps of hope that I'll be white hot with rage at a bunny hopping proxy somewhere, sometime. It's important to restate that the game isn't going anywhere. If you love playing DirtyBomb, then continue to love playing DirtyBomb. And in many ways, the community of people around the game is now even more important than ever. Be good to your fellow players. You're bound by love of this quirky, funny, hip-fire-centric FPS title set in the mean streets of London. If you have any thoughts or questions, please do leave them in the comment section below right now. I'll be dishing out extra internet points for all DB memes, and further bonuses for T22 easy references. You've noticed that I've been talking about Warframe, Call of Duty and other titles recently on this channel, so worry not, there are more videos in the pipeline. Thank you as always, I do appreciate you lovely folks choosing to stick around, and I'll see you next time for some more gaming goodness. Take care.